Breaking tonight, the world's largest warship is now in Latin American waters.
Venezuela's defense minister ordered the country's 200,000 soldiers to prepare for war.
If they come to touch Venezuela, there you will see a people determined to defend this homeland to the death.
Colombia has halted the intelligence it will share with the U.S.
So are we going to war with Venezuela?
I don't know.
Stop right there. Before you click away, let me tell you what really happened 3 days ago that nobody's talking about. Venezuela just lost $2 billion worth of weapons in 93 minutes. And they didn't even know it was happening. Imagine someone stealing your entire house while you're sitting in it. That's what America just did to Venezuela's military.
Everybody knows Maduro is the head of the biggest cartel, drug cartel, Cartel of the Suns, also the head of the Tren de Aragua, a criminal network that has committed crimes in the US, in Canada, up down to Argentina and Chile. It's all run by Maduro.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something that'll make half of you angry and the other half laugh. Venezuela says they have 200,000 soldiers ready for war. You know what that is to America? Nothing. It's like a chihuahua barking at a lion. We have submarines that cost more than their entire country makes in a year. One submarine, we have 68 of them. But that's not even the crazy part.
Comes as sources confirm the UK is no longer sharing some intel with the US. The Brits say they don't want to be linked to any US military strikes on suspected drug trafficking vessels in the Caribbean.
We have very strong partnerships with the UK and other countries. Again, nothing has changed or happened that has impeded in any way our ability to do what we're doing, nor are we asking anyone to help us with what we're doing in any realm, and that includes military.
The USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest warship, is now in Latin American waters after being ordered by the Pentagon to leave its deployment to the Middle East ahead of schedule. The aircraft carrier strike group, with nearly 4,000 sailors on board and dozens of warplanes, is being escorted by 3 guided missile destroyers. 24% of all U.S. Navy vessels are now deployed to U.S. Southern Command. U.S. ground forces, meantime, have returned to Panama for the first time in over 2 decades for jungle warfare training, reviving the Cold War-era Green Hell program. The renewed focus on jungle combat coincides with President Trump's talk of potential land operations.
3 days ago, January 22nd, 3 ships were carrying weapons to Venezuela. Big weapons, dangerous weapons, the kind that could actually hurt people. These weren't Venezuelan ships, though. They were pretending to be normal cargo ships, like when you hide vegetables under your napkin so your parents don't see. Except instead of vegetables, it was missiles from Russia, drones from Iran, and some junk from North Korea that probably doesn't even work. Venezuela thought they were being sneaky. They thought nobody was watching. That's adorable. We've been watching these ships since they left Syria 3 weeks ago. We knew what was on them. We knew where they were going. We knew what the crew had for breakfast. We knew everything. It's like playing hide and seek with someone who has X-ray vision. You already lost before you started. At exactly 4:15 in the morning, something beautiful happened. Every single piece of electronic equipment on those Venezuelan escort ships stopped working. Radar, dead. Radio, dead. GPS, gone. Even their cell phones stopped working. One Venezuelan captain said it was like God turned off the lights. No, buddy, that wasn't God. That was American taxpayer money at work. Specifically, it was something called electronic warfare, which is basically like having a magic remote control that turns off your enemy's everything. Now here comes the part that should embarrass every Venezuelan watching this. While their military is sitting there in the dark wondering what happened, Navy SEALs are already on the cargo ships. Not just any SEALs, Team 6, the guys who killed Osama bin Laden. These dudes could take over a country during their coffee break. And Venezuela sent what? Some boats from the 1980s that barely float. It's like bringing a paper airplane to a fighter jet competition. In 93 minutes it was over. 3 ships that were full of weapons, empty, completely empty. $2.3 billion just gone, poof. Like a magic trick, except it's real and Venezuela is the guy who got sawed in half. The best part, we didn't fire a single shot. We didn't have to. It was easier to steal these weapons from Venezuela than it is to steal candy from a baby. At least a baby would cry. You know what we found on these ships? This is where it gets hilarious. Russian S-400 missiles, which are supposed to be super advanced. Iranian drones that look like they were built in someone's garage. North Korean electronics that I swear were running Windows XP. Windows XP, my grandma's computer, is more advanced than North Korea's military technology. And Chinese equipment that was supposed to hack our communications but couldn't even hack a McDonald's Wi-Fi. After we took everything, you know what we did? We gave each crew member $1,000 and sent them home. Like a tip. Like, sorry we took your boss's toys, here's some pocket money, buy yourself something nice. That's how little we care about Venezuela's threats. We literally treated this like taking candy from a baby and then paying the baby for the inconvenience. Right now Maduro is on TV talking about defending the homeland to the death. Brother, you couldn't defend a lemonade stand from a group of kindergartners. Your military budget is $5 billion. The ship we sent, just one ship, the Gerald Ford, cost $13 billion. One ship costs more than your entire military for almost 3 years. That's not a fair fight. That's not even a fight. That's a grown man versus an ant. Let me paint you a picture of how outmatched Venezuela is. They have 8 ships in their navy. 8. My local fishing club has more boats. They have 23 fighter jets from the 1980s and half of them don't even fly. The USS Gerald Ford carries 75 aircraft. One ship has 3 times more planes than their entire air force. And our planes actually work. But here's what really makes me laugh, and comment below if you agree. Maduro actually thinks his military matters. Like he genuinely believes 200,000 soldiers with broken equipment and no training can stand up to the United States military. Buddy, the Texas National Guard, not even our real military, just the part-time soldiers from Texas, could take over your entire country on their lunch break. Some of you are typing right now about how America shouldn't be the world police. Cool story. Next time there's a tsunami, earthquake, or war, don't call us. Call Venezuela. See how that works out for you. When Russia invades someone, call Maduro. When China threatens Taiwan, get Venezuela's 8 boats to help. Oh wait, you won't, because deep down you know American military power is the only thing keeping the world from complete chaos. Others are saying this is propaganda. I wish it was propaganda. The truth is actually worse for Venezuela. We have satellites that can read license plates from space. We have submarines that could destroy entire cities without surfacing. We have planes that are literally invisible to radar. And Venezuela has what? Soldiers who haven't been paid in months carrying guns older than they are. Here's what should really scare every country thinking about messing with America. We did this at like 2% effort. This was us being bored on a Tuesday. We didn't even send our best equipment. We sent 1 carrier group. We have 11 of them. This wasn't a military operation. This was practice. This was warm-up. This was us stretching before the real exercise. The funny thing is, we didn't even need these weapons. We have better ones, much better ones. We took them just because we could. It's like a billionaire taking a penny from someone just to prove a point. The point being, if we can take your best weapons in 93 minutes without firing a shot, imagine what we could do if we actually tried. Right now, Russia, China, and Iran are watching this and sweating. Because if we can do this to their weapons, to their ally in broad daylight, what else can we do? They thought sending weapons to Venezuela would create problems for America. Instead, we just turned it into a training exercise. Thanks for the free target practice, I guess. You want to know the truth? Venezuela will never fight America. Never, not because they're scared, although they should be, but because their own military would surrender before the first shot. These aren't soldiers willing to die for Maduro. These are hungry people in uniforms who know they're outmatched 1,000,000 to 1. The smart ones would switch sides, the dumb ones would run, none would fight. Comment Venezuela strong if you think they have a chance. Comment an American flag if you live in reality. But before you comment, remember that we just stole $2 billion in weapons like we were picking up groceries. Your military tried to stop us and failed so bad they didn't even know they failed. That's not power, that's not strength, that's embarrassment. This is America operating at Wednesday afternoon energy. You don't want to see us on Monday morning when we're fresh. You really don't want to see us actually angry. Ask Japan how that worked out. Ask Iraq, ask anyone who's ever touched our boats. There's a reason the Geneva Convention exists, and it's because of what America does when you make us actually try. Subscribe right now if you want to see what we really found on those ships. Because I haven't even told you the worst part yet. What was hidden in those weapons that has Russia panicking right now. What we discovered that makes this way bigger than just Venezuela. Hit the notification bell because what I'm revealing next is going to change how you see everything. Venezuela, you're not our enemy, you're not our rival, you're not even our concern. You're just today's example of why you don't mess with American interests. Tomorrow it'll be someone else. But the lesson stays the same. When America shows up, the game is already over, you just don't know it yet.